Welcome to Macey's Cooking Corner. Hey, I'm your host, and I am making sweet potato soup with spinach. So now it's cooked a little bit. I wanted to boil it, blanch it, not blanch it, I shouldn't say that actually, just have it lightly cooked. And so I've drained it, and now I'm going to add it to my avocado and dates, um, as so. With the carrots as well. Remember the carrots were on here. And it's not soft. It's not really that soft, but it's just soft enough to grind well in my blender. If you don't happen to have um, the machine that I have. Okay, so also I've got some garlic salt. Salt, I love pink salt. I'm much into pink salt, sea salt, anything that is truly organic. But today I didn't have any, but you can get that here at Macy's. So I've added about half a teaspoon. If you want more, you can. You can add different spices, but today I'm keeping it pretty plain. I'm going to throw in a dash of nutmeg that I acquired here at Macy's. So not too much. You can put a pinch of nutmeg. Oh, it's coming off. Here we go. So pinch, that's literally just squeezing it and adding a little bit, depending again if what you like. But I do love nutmeg. But this one is a strong. Okay. And then a little bit of a pinch of cinnamon. We love cinnamon, right? So again, it's about a quarter of a teaspoon. That's it. Not too much. Just enough for you to get that hint. So, what am I going to do with the spinach? Spinach is a fantastic green food. I mean, that's okay depending on what it is, but it's eating the fresh foods that will start healing, that will allow you for your body to work. Because if you think about it, if you're eating a lot of processed foods or a lot of takeouts and things like that, the food is gone, it's dead, it's boiled out. Really, you're eating for eating's sake to get full for about, I don't know, an hour or two, but the nutrients are totally gone. There's nothing there healing you or helping your body to do what it needs to do. And I love eating this way because also you need to eliminate, and if that's not happening often enough, it's your food that is not allowing you to do that. So now, another thing, because otherwise this would not work because there's no water in it. So 2 cups of water. Now I haven't tried this with maybe coconut milk or coconut water or some other beverage, but I'm sure it'll work out and I'm going to let you know. But today we're going to use water. So I'm going to pour the 2 cups of water in here. And then I'm going to blend it for about, you'll see when it's ready, because it'll all be blended. So now this has blended wonderfully. Now, before we add, can you see that the colors is just beautiful with the orange and the carrots? The sweet potatoes and the carrots. So before we blend all of the spinach, because I want to keep the nutrients pretty high, I'm gonna put half of the soup into a bowl, and then what I'm going to do is put 2 cups of spinach in here and blend that up too. And then afterwards, it's going to give a delightful color. As opposed, you could just throw the whole thing if you haven't got much time for 2 steps, but I prefer not. So this is 1 cup. I'm going to pack it in there like that. 1 cup of lovely spinach. It's just nice I love it. I just love just fresh vegetables that, nowadays when I eat and it's something that's been overcooked or too creamy or too much of everything, I can tell, So you just pour that in there. It's about a cup. It's probably a little bit over a cup. I love spinach and I love the taste of spinach. So, all right, then we go back to the blender. Here we go. Now, usually this doesn't really take that long, okay? I know I'm doing this a lot. Seems like it. Sometimes it gets stuck, so you have to just, I forgot my little thing to, to push it down. So I'm going to use a spoon. Okay, here we go. Ah, that's beautiful. Some of them didn't actually, but we'll take that off. Okay, there you go. See? And that's a beauty. See, that's the color it would be if you just put everything in. But I just like to put some of that in, and then you give it a swirl, see? And there you have a beautiful, and I'll have you know, this is a vegan sweet potato soup with spinach. And what a beautiful color that is. And so the spices, I didn't use, you know, depending on different people, I didn't use a lot of spices. I usually like it spicy, so I would add ginger and cayenne to it. It gives it that little bit of a kick, but I'm going to try this. I think this is going to be delicious with the green, the spinach, and the sweet potatoes and carrots. That's beautiful. That is really delicious, of course, because I made it. No, but this is really delicious. It was easy, simple, really. It doesn't take that long to cook it. And add more spices to your taste, more pepper, more garlic. You could even add fresh garlic to it. And also you can make your own bread or crackers and dip and enjoy. Like I said before, this is Afua at Macey's Cooking Corner here at Spanish Fork. Welcome to Macey's Cooking Corner. I'm your host today, Afua Daines, and I've got a treat for you because I get to be the cook. But before we start and tell you what I'm going to cook, I have to say I have a new apron that I just want everyone to look at. It's red. It's my favorite color. And red is also a symbol. I think it means power. And I just ooze out with power, don't you think? And so, anyway, so you see, this is where I work, and I just absolutely love it. So I just want to say thank you to my producers who came up with it. It's fantastic. Okay, so today, it's winter. It's that time of year where it gets cold. It's dark, it's rainy, it's just not a warm time. I like to, when I go home, the heating has got to be on. It's got to be nice and warm. The minute I walk in and I feel good, I can take my shoes off and put my slippers on. I'm a slippers girl, fluffy slippers. And so today I decided that I was going to make sweet potato and spinach soup. Really simple soup. I mean, it has hardly a handful of ingredients, but it's high nutrient. It's nutrient dense. The minerals are there. Sweet potatoes are way better than potatoes. I know that there's a lot of potatoes that are produced, but sweet potatoes, especially if you're watching your weight, or your waistband, your waist, as people say, sweet potatoes is a better alternative. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cook these sweet potatoes. I'm going to peel them, and then I'm going to chop them up. And I've got my water boiling, but we're not going to boil it for, too long, probably about 5 minutes, just enough for it to soften, because we're going to blend it too. I'm going to blend everything so that the nutrients, sometimes I could probably blend it raw, but I just want, for the majority of people out there, to show you what you can do if you don't have the kind of machine that I do have. So always what I'd like to do when I start off, I've washed them. I like, if there's any kind of mud or anything. And I bought all of my ingredients from Macey's, and we're here at Macey's Spanish Fork. We're here every Thursday. And so if you want to come along, you certainly can do. And so I'm going to show you how to peel. I'm sure you all know how to peel. My mum always say you peel away from you. And you do that for if you're using a knife. But they say when you peel, you're then not peeling away all of the nutrients, because then you're just peeling off the skin. And so it just works out just fine. But isn't this great? I love the color. Today I had one of my students ask me what a turnip was. And I was thinking of making a turnip soup, and that's delish too. But I love all these root kind of vegetables for this time of year, because this time of year is a time for soup, okay? You can make sweet potatoes. You can use normal, ordinary potatoes. See, I can do both ways. I can do it away, or I can do it, but I do it the politically correct way, right? So this is a brand new peeler, so it's doing a very good job, because it is slightly hard. And I had another friend ask me what the difference between a yam and a sweet potato is. Now, in Ghana, I'm sure in Africa, yams are totally different to what they are here. The yams over there are very long. They look like logs. You cut them up, and they're very starchy, more starchy than a potato, very white inside. But I know that's not the same yam that is produced here in America. And I always used to think a sweet potato was the same, actually. But it is from, there are different kinds of potatoes, yams, sweet potatoes. But today we are using a sweet potato. So there, I have that done. That didn't take very long, did it? You only need 2. This is for 2 to 3 servings. So if you wanted to, obviously, if you want to do more, you certainly could do that. Okay, so taking all the skin off. If you want to give it another wash, you certainly could do that too. I also like, there was another soup that I like to do where you bake it first. Instead of boiling it, you can bake it and then do the same thing. Just take the inside and add everything. But as I was saying, this way, you can cook it not for too long and have it semi-cooked. Because, you see, I think we eat a lot of processed. I think we eat a lot of comfort food at this time of year. We want to feel good. We want to feel good about ourselves, right? And if you've noticed, a lot of people around about this time of year want to get back into shape. They're going to try again. And then it gets to about March, and that's when everything falls to, going to the gym, eating right. That's just all. But it's really simple to eat. I've been meeting people who have high blood pressure or high blood pressure, high cholesterol. And really, it is their diet. It is their diet. You can see that it's their diet and the stress that they have. I think a lot of Americans have a lot of stress in their lives, which doesn't help either, because then you just want to eat more, I believe. So we got to relax and enjoy life and just realize that, this life is a good life. We're really blessed to be in a fantastic country. It's a new life, a new year, and we can be in control of our lives if we really want to, our health, by eating well. And it doesn't take that much to eat well, or cost that much. I mean, organic foods do cost just a little bit, maybe a couple more dollars, but in the long run, I have a friend who always says, is the price worth, is the price, what is it? Is the price worth the prize? At the end of your life, or when you get to your 60s and you have a high medical bill, would it have been worth spending a couple more dollars for good food, or, you know, be sick at the end? I want to enjoy my life. So now I have my boiling water, so I'm literally not blanching it, just a little bit more than blanched. So I'm going to leave it in there for about 4 minutes or something, and allow that to soften so that when I blend it, it blends well and leaves it creamy. So whilst that's doing that, I've got an avocado here that I'm going to put in. Avocados are amazing. So it's a healthy fat, okay? So, you know, you get bad fats and you get good fats. You get junky fats, fats that do absolutely nothing for you, and you get good fats. And this is a good fat. Now, I have one of my friends here. He's touching, caressing his stomach, okay? Now, if you have a stomach right in front of you, that could be of a wealthy person who eats very well. But, again, as you might well know, he eats very well. But what does that person eat? See, now, things like this, again, like I was saying, is instead of grabbing the snack that you really know that you shouldn't be eating, have you ever tried an avocado just by itself with pink salt? I love pink salt, and ground up freshly ground pepper, and just eat it. My 5-year-old loves that. Just the right. This is a perfect avocado, which I got at Macey's. I touched it a little bit. It wasn't too soft, not too hard, and it's just perfect. See? I was able to take this pit out quite easily, and now I'm going to put it in my blender. But I really would love to just take a bite into it, but I won't. On this show. So this is my friend. I just love my blender. So I'm just going to put this in there. And even for smoothies, I add an avocado. It has all of the nutrients. And you can look that up. Avocados are the bomb. If you're losing weight or you want to lose weight, you can eat one of those almost as a meal. And it's fantastic with some greens and some grapes, quinoa, put it together. Put a nice dressing of balsamic vinegar. And you have a meal. So we have that, and then we've got our carrots. Now the carrots I could also boil. I think I'm going to boil them a little bit too. Not too much though, like I was saying. Just enough for me to blend it all very nicely. So here we go. Just the normal way. Here we go. You know, when I buy organic carrots, which these are, and you can get them at the store, I don't usually take the skin off, actually. I just cut the ends and wash it, which I did, and then I just slice or chop it or whatever I want to do with that. But I think I'm in a habit of doing that. So again, I'm chopped it, slicing it. Okay, so it required 1 medium carrot. As these carrots were small, I did 2, so it's about the same. I'm sure you can do it however you want. We're going to also add later on some fresh spinach into this, and this is going to be beautiful. It's going to give a really strong color that I love. You can also, if you don't have a really good blender, you could put them all together and blend it, but then your soup is going to look green, and I'm sure your children will be scared by that color, you know? Another thing that I'm going to add are some dates for the sweetness and that creaminess as well. But this using is another alternative to sugar. I love using dates in my smoothies. So I'm going to use 3. Now, we don't just throw that in. All of them, mostly medjool dates. These are softer than some of the others that are out there. If you do happen to have other types of dates that are harder, then soak it. Try and soak it for 2 to 4 hours to soften the skin, and then you can throw that in, because otherwise then you'll have bits in your soup, and I'm sure you don't want that. See, so I'm just taking these out. And this is another thing I like to do. You know, if you're feeling like you want something sweet, instead of grabbing the donut, I grab a date and eat one, you know. I know it is slightly high in calories, but I'd rather do this than a donut or this or a chocolate bar. I learned the other day, whilst this is boiling, I'm just going to share with you, there was a show, I think it's one of those PBS shows, telling us about, you know, there's so many diets, so many fads out there, you know, low sugar, high fat, or low sugar, low sodium, you know, everything low fat too. That's another one. And they had 2 doctors who experimented, saying that they ate as much sugar as they want, but they had a low fat diet. And then, or the other one had a lot of high fat diet, and then, but low sugar. Anyway, or it balanced out, something like that. Anyway, what they were trying to say was it didn't really matter how much sugar they ate. Yes, their calories, you know, things went up slightly if they ate more sugar, or they ate just predominantly more fat or less fat. But when you put the 2 together, that's when the things started processing in your mind, saying, yes, I want more. I've got to eat more of this. And this is why, especially in soda drinks, that you find that a lot of people are addicted to sugar, because of they've managed to create this formula for sugar and fats. Well, soda is just sugar, in a way that it's very addictive to your brain, where your brain doesn't tell you, I'm full, or I don't need this drink anymore. You have that desire to grab it all the time, which is just not great at all. As opposed to just drinking water and lemon, putting, you know, cucumbers and lemon together, and it's great, and it sits in the fridge. All right, that's a little bit too much there, but it's good information. So you'll see that this is boiling just nicely. I'm going to put it on high. It's on high. And what else could I do? Okay, so the next things that we're going to do, once that boils just a little bit more, then we're going to come back, drain it, and then I'm going to put it in here, and then you'll be able to see what we've created.